Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the 2022 National New York Gala.
Can we grab you for a photo with the Prime Minister? Thank you.
I got the eye of the tiger, a spider dancing through the fire, 'cause I am the champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion, 'cause I am the champion, and you're gonna hear me roar, 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 you're gonna hear me roar.
Join us.
Together, 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 everyone. Together, together. Come on, let's have some fun. Together, we're there for each other every time. Together, together. Come on, let's do this right.
Here and now, it's time for celebration. I finally figured out that all our dreams have no limitation. That's what it's all about.
Come on now.
Everyone is special in their own way. We make each other strong.
We make each other strong.
We're not the same.
We're different in a good way.
Together's where we belong.
Everybody.
We're all in this together. Once we know that we're all stars, and we see that we're all in this together. And it shows when we stand hand in hand, make our dreams come true. Na 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 na. Everybody, we want to see your hands up in the air high. Heart to heart, we'll look up and see the starlight in the sky. Yachad, heart to heart, we're hoping to find a little love.
איך שהלב נפתח, חובק את העולם, ובקריאה גדולה נשיר לאהבה.
1, 2, 3.
יחד, לב אל לב, נפתח ונראה את האור שבשמיים. יחד, לב אל לב, נפתח בתקווה לאהבה. We're all in this together. Once we know that we're all stars, and we see that we're all in this together. And it shows when we stand hand in hand, make our dreams come true. Wildcats everywhere, wave your hands up in the air. Go!
Thank you very much.
Please welcome to the stage tonight's esteemed honoree, FIDF's National Chairman and the Chairman of tonight's National New York Gala. Please welcome Rabbi Peter Weintraub.
When you pack the house with your friends, it's very easy. Thank you very much. Wow, what an amazing performance. I'm sorry they walked off stage, but let's give one more round of applause to this amazing group that came through. Good evening, friends of the IDF. Good evening. It's fantastic to be with you tonight. and support the brave soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces. It is a privilege to be with you, to be honored by you, and to host this incredible evening. I remember when Yehoram Gaon sang the song HaMilchama HaAchrona, the last war that Israel would fight. Ani mavtiach lach, yalda sheli ktana. I sang that song to my daughters as a lullaby. It was 1973, 49 years ago. Lu Yehi, what a world this would be if his words had come true. Yet, we are still battling war. In Israel, during the last 18 months, 3 major conflicts. Anti-Semitism, the palpable rise of anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism in every corner, both sides of the spectrum. It sometimes seems that the only thing that the left, the far left, and the far right agree upon is that the Jews and Israel as the Jewish homeland are to blame. Yet we hope. It's in our DNA. It's in our Jewish national anthem, Hatikva, Od Lo Avda Tikvatenu. Our hope is not ever to be lost. And tonight's gathering shouts out loudly and clearly that as we hope for a better future, we support the men and women of the IDF who day in and day out ensure that we will have a brighter future. We rest comfortably in our American homes, knowing that they never rest. The world, Jewry, and Israel depends on them. We will always be by their side. Our support will never end. Tonight, you will hear stories about courage. For us, Americans, courage is an aspiration. Will we be courageous when called upon? I've often asked myself that exact question, as I'm sure many of you have. Not so in Israel. Not so with the IDF. The soldiers do not have that luxury. For them, courage is a must. Courage is a given. From the moment they don their uniforms and say the words, Ani Nishpa, I swear to protect the people of Israel and the people of the world, all the people of the world. For us, we need to utter that oath as well. We must muster our courage in the best way we can, both financially and physically and spiritually. Every single person gathered tonight is part of the FIDF tapestry, the tapestry of support. Each one of us, one person at a time, building upon each other, giving chizuk, giving strength to each other and from each other. Every person in this room matters. Every person in this room counts and is counted upon. The picture is only complete when everyone is involved in support and love of the friends of the Israel Defense Forces. Thank you very much.
It's the latest in a string of attacks, one of the deadliest waves of terrorist attacks in Israel in years.
1 in 4 American Jews say they faced anti-Semitism.
My name is Colonel Adedri, and I've been a commander in the Israel Defense Forces for over 20 years. There is no question that the DNA of the Jewish people is courage. Let's face it, statistically, we should not be here. For the first time in history, we, the Jewish people, are no longer defenseless. Because of the IDF, there is a new Jewish response: courage.
I'm Corporal Kesem. When I was 15, my mom was not well and my father was not around. With no support, I did not think I would have a future.
The IDF service changed the path of my life.
Soon, through the FIDF educational program, I'm going to complete my high school diploma.
I see new opportunities that I didn't see. I can dream big now.
It's definitely different to be a lone soldier in a foreign country serving in the military. When another soldier goes home, they have their family to go home to. There's someone there to cook them food, to do their laundry. And when I go home, it's not like that. There's no one there to greet me. There's no one there to help me with my bag or ask if I need anything or just to give me a hug. My last flight home was in November for Thanksgiving. My flight back home was supported by the FIDF. I'm very, very grateful for that. The FIDF, for lone soldiers in general, I can say that they do a lot. When you're a new immigrant, it becomes a lot of a headache and a lot of stress. FIDF helps get that done very easily. It means the world does.
My name is Lieutenant Topal, and my job is to help soldiers whose families are struggling financially. Often I meet soldiers whose families depend on them to survive. My job is to take that burden off their shoulders. Because of FIDF support, we can make sure the family has food on the table and the essentials they need. Not only does it give the soldier peace of mind, it allows them to focus and excel in their mission of supporting the State of Israel, which can launch them into new career opportunities and break the poverty cycle altogether.
I remember hearing my commander screaming, "Yo, yo, everyone move." And as soon as I hear that, I lift my head and then the car attacks me and drives into me. I remember something wasn't right with my face, and I remember something wasn't right with my bones. A couple of minutes later, the ambulance came, and the ambulance took me to the Hadassah Ein Karim hospital, and there I was taken care of. The FIDF visited me in the hospital. I decided to get back on my feet. The fact that I never gave up, and here I am finishing my officer's course, it's surreal.
A commander knows he has soldiers from all kinds of backgrounds, facing all kinds of challenges. IDF missions are already stressful and dangerous. FIDF understands that no matter how advanced and equipped we are, our real strength is our people. The Adapt a Unit program provides the full spectrum of FIDF support, knowing I have the means to step in and help a soldier in exactly the way he needs. It makes the impossible possible.
Now more than ever, we need two crucial ingredients: community and courage. As we sit here tonight, united as one community, our mission is clear, direct, unambiguous. For while many organizations support Israel, FIDF is Israel. Because without the IDF, there is no Israel, and the IDF is calling upon us. The Chief of Staff, for the third year in a row, designates FIDF as the sole organization authorized by the IDF to raise funds for their educational and their humanitarian needs. To sustain, we shouldn't applaud. We always remember that their job is to take care of Israel. Ours is to take care of them. We are honored tonight by distinguished guests demonstrating their love and support for our soldiers in Israel, starting with the Prime Minister of Israel, Yair Lapid, and his delegation. Ambassador of Israel in Washington, Michael Herzog. Ambassador of Israel in the UN, Gilad Erdan. Ambassador of Israel in Canada, Ronaine Hoffman. Consul General of Israel, Asaf Zamir. Defense and Armed Forces Attaché to the U.S., Major General Hidai Zilberman, and his committed IDF attachés, Major Avi Gil. The distinguished guest on the screen behind me, FIDF National Board members, FIDF National President and incoming National Chairman, Fred Gluckman, FIDF CEO Rabbi Stephen Weil, FIDF National Director, Major General Nadav Padan, Executive Director of Israel Operations, Yechiel Gozal, Vice President of Northeast Region, Galit Brichta, and the entire FIDF team. The soldiers of Israel put their lives on the line without hesitation. We must have the courage to stand by them, to share their stories. This is one of them.
My name is Sergeant First Class M. I'm a combat soldier in the Oketz K9 Special Forces Unit. The Oketz unit is the combat K9 unit of the IDF, whose role is to use dogs for operative missions. We risk a life every day, and our dogs do it too. Our dogs are personally selected and undergo intensive training together with soldiers. We train our dogs to distinguish between civilians and terrorists. Our dogs will not stop until the mission is completed. My dog's name is Mido, and he is my best friend. We've been together for 2 years and are always together.
Tensions in Israel remain high after 3 deadly terror attacks in the country in the space of a week. 11 people have been killed in that time.
During Operation Break the Wave, the IDF was tasked to arrest 4 wanted persons of the Islamic Jihad in the West Bank who were planning to carry out an armed attack in Israel.
قدموا روحي رخيصة في سبيل الله في سبيل تحرير أرض فلسطين المسلمة من دنس اليهود المعتدين.
During the mission, one of the terrorists was missing. At some point, we got an indication that the terrorist might be armed in a house in the area of Tulkarem. We surrounded the compound of the house. Suddenly, I recognized him fleeing from the window of the house. I immediately gave a command to Mido to chase and neutralize him. Mido did a great job and caught him immediately, and then we arrested him. We then searched the house and found the weapons and the documents for the attack. Thanks to Mido, we were able to prevent a deadly attack on our people and country. And that's exactly what we are here for. So many people owe their lives to him without even knowing.
Please welcome to the stage Sergeant First Class M. And for our soldier safety, absolutely no photos or videos.
תודה רבה. Hello, I'm Sergeant First Class M, and I serve in the IDF Special Forces Unit, Oketz. In Oketz, we feel that FIDF is part of us, like our mothers and fathers, taking care of all our needs, before and after each mission. The operations we participate in are always high risk, in Judah and Samaria, on the borders of Israel and beyond. The price that Israeli civilians will pay if we don't do this missions is too high, which is what drives me to go on operations night after night. The support and the appreciation we get from you reminds us of our duty to defend every Israeli and Jew wherever they are, even sacrificing our own lives if needed. Respectfully, I would like to honor my old company commando, Major Bar Falach, who was killed last week in the mission in Jenin. Major Bar was a friend before he was commando. He always put the state of Israel and the needs of his soldiers above all. He's been known to say that he will protect his men with his body. Which he ended up doing. He fought to the end. I would like to ask you to rise for a moment for a silence in his honor. May his memory be a blessing. This is for you, my big brother. This is our job, and we continue this is job. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all you do. Thank you. Israel's Prime Minister, Yair Lapid, was born in Tel Aviv in 1963. Married to Lihi, they are blessed with 3 children, Yoav, Lior, and Yael. He is the founder and chair of Israel's Yesh Atid party, There Is a Future. He is the son of the late Tomi Lapid, a Holocaust survivor, prominent journalist, CEO of the Israel Broadcasting Authority, member of Knesset, deputy prime minister and minister of justice, and Shulamit Lapid, an acclaimed novelist, playwright, and former chair of the Hebrew Writers Association. Before entering politics, Prime Minister Lapid was a best-selling author, journalist, TV presenter, playwright, actor, and musician. In May 2021, Prime Minister Lapid was entrusted with the mandate to form a new government, which he did. Prime Minister Lapid believes in bolstering Israel's security, striving for regional stability and extending Israel's hand in peace to its neighbors. Dear friends, please join me as we welcome Israel's Minister of Foreign Affairs and Israel's 14th Prime Minister, Yair Lapid. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please be seated. We all needed a moment there to catch our breath back after this fine young man who came to talk to us. I want to start by sharing a little bit of my family story. 78 years ago, on March 19th, 1944, in the early hours of the morning, a German soldier knocked on the door of the house where my father lived in Novi Sad, Serbia. The soldier was wearing a gray uniform with a small SS emblem on his collar, and in his hand he held a rifle. "I'm looking for Dr. Bela Lampel," he said. "That's me," my grandfather said. Dr. Lampel said, "The German soldier, get dressed and come with me." His mother, my great-grandmother Hermina, approached the German soldier, and slowly, as old people do, she got down on her knees and hugged his shining boots. "Bitte," she said in German, "Du hast auch eine Mutter zu Hause. You also have a mother at home." The SS soldier officer did not look at her. "Get dressed." He ordered my grandfather again, and my grandfather got dressed and picked up a small bag which was waiting by the door. In those days in occupied Europe, every Jew kept a small, tightly packed bag by the door. And he went to my father that you just mentioned. At the time, a 13-year-old boy who was lying in the big bed watching all this from under the covers. "My son," he said, "I'll either see you again or I won't." And he didn't. My father never saw his father again. My grandfather died in the Mauthausen concentration camp less than a month before the camp was liberated. When I was 13 years old, I asked my father why they did not run away. And he said, "Because we had nowhere to run to." I once flew over Australia, a 5-hour flight from Sydney to Perth, and I didn't see a single house on the way. And on the American Midwest, you can drive for 2 days through the vast wilderness without seeing a single person. But in all this big, wide world, my father, a 13-year-old Jewish boy, had nowhere to go to. There wasn't a Jewish Air Force to bomb the train lines leading to the concentration camps. There was the Jewish Navy to take my father to the shores of safety. There was the Jewish state in which free Jewish people could protect themselves by themselves. Well, there is now. Israel is a country that chooses life. In the book of Deuteronomy, it is written, "I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse, and you shall choose life so that you and your children may live." That choice is the reason that in the 75 years since Israel was established, we have become a strong, optimistic, incredible country. From the Middle Eastern desert, we created a high-tech superpower, a flourishing culture, cutting-edge science and innovation. Israel is also the only democracy in the Middle East, a country which proudly protects human rights, minorities, the LGBT community, freedom of religion, and freedom of speech. The state of Israel is a country that faces many complex threats. Iran's nuclear program, Hezbollah's precision-guided missiles from Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, terrorists in Jenin. The terror axis trying to establish itself in Syria. Israel is stronger than all of our enemies. We will not hesitate to use force to protect our people. And our enemies should know that at any given moment we are stronger, more innovative, and far tougher than them. And our enemies should know one more thing. We have you, our brothers and sisters, our family. We stand up to them together, all the Jewish people, in Israel and across the world. And if you want to know what it means what we mean when we talk about Israeli veterans, we're talking about the brave men and women of the IDF that you support every single day. Israel's veterans is built on the strength of young people who are willing to push themselves to the limit and beyond. About a month ago, the IDF launched Operation Breaking Dawn in the Gaza Strip. It was a short operation with a clear goal: to deal a fatal blow to those who try to harm our children. And alongside the Israeli Air Force, the Iron Dome defense systems operated and protected against hundreds of rockets aimed at civilian homes. While we strike military targets and terrorist organizations, they attack kindergartens and hospitals. IDF soldiers are deployed from north to south in the air, on land, and at sea. I met some of them over the last few months when I gave them their ranks at the officer training school and naval officers graduation ceremonies. And I met young people who chose difficult path to ensure the security of our country. They know, as every Israeli know, you are standing with them. In March 1965, on Dr. Martin Luther King's famous march from Selma to Montgomery, walking beside him in the front row was a Jewish rabbi, Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel. When he returned home that day, Rabbi Heschel wrote in his diary, "Today I felt my legs were praying." In the Israeli Defense Forces, legs pray every day. Nothing in our lives can be taken for granted. The fact that I'm standing here today as Prime Minister of the State of Israel, a free country with a strong army, with friends like you, did not happen on its own. We learned the lesson. At every moment, Israel must be strong, free, and secure, with a powerful army that can defend its citizens. The United States has stood by our side from the very beginning, from its vote in the United Nations 75 years ago, to Congress's vote on assistance for the Iron Dome a couple of months ago. At the Security Council, in our peace agreements with Egypt and Jordan, in the wars where Israel received diplomatic and military support from the United States. It stood by our side when President Trump signed the Abraham Accords and when President Biden signed the Jerusalem Declaration. This bipartisan friendship is one of the cornerstones of Israel's security. It is touching, and most importantly, it cannot be taken for granted. And you, my friends, are at the heart of this friendship, of the unparalleled alliance between the United States and Israel. I have the honor of coming here tonight and thanking you for supporting our soldiers, for your commitment to the State of Israel. So on behalf of the State of Israel and on behalf of the soldiers of the IDF, I salute you, my friends. Your support and love stretches across continents and oceans and reaches the hearts of every soldier and of every home in the land of Israel. Thank you. God bless you.
Wow. Thank you, Prime Minister Lapid, for taking precious time out of your very short schedule in the United States on your first official visit as Prime Minister to be with us tonight. The Israel Defense Forces, guided by a strict code of ethics and moral compass, personifies the new Jewish response that allows each one of us to live as prouder, more secure Jews, no matter where we reside. Because of them, courage does not just live in Israel, it lives wherever we are.
Sweetheart, can you just wait 1 second?
What?
Anybody who's been on a mission with us knows that I don't hesitate interrupting you.
I don't believe it.
But it does, in fact, take a great deal of courage for me to come up here and speak publicly, because I am clearly not the public speaker in this family.
All right, okay, I'll speak then.
No. Yes, their courage inspires and unites us. And it takes courage, truly, for me to come up here and speak.
Thank you.
But it's completely true. The courage of these young, incredible men and women and their families flies across the ocean and into each of our hearts, linking our communities and destinies forever. It's truly been a privilege to be at your side. You are a special honoree tonight, FIDF's National Chairman, Zionist extraordinaire, and truly the love of my life. Your courage has inspired everyone. You've inspired FIDF's National Board by your leadership and your vision. You have been FIDF's best ambassador to the hundreds that you've led on the missions. You have motivated tens of thousands at galas in New York and around the country. You have left an indelible mark on our amazing impact students, whom we have been honored and privileged to sponsor, and the battalion soldiers that we adopted. You amaze me at how open you are to new ways of reaching and touching the lives of the soldiers. How open you are to advice. How calm you are during challenging times. How wise you are in maintaining your vision. But most of all, for your courage, which has left FIDF in the most capable hands as you conclude your service as chairman. Proud to know that its future is safely entrusted. Now, go take a seat. This is your time to relax and enjoy the show as we celebrate you, a most well-deserved honor. No, I have one more line. It is now my greatest pleasure to introduce you to some of the many people directly inspired by Peter. Please turn your attention to the screen.
Good evening and welcome. Each one of us can become a hero to the incredible soldiers of Israel who are so worthy of our support.
We had a very good friend who introduced us to the organization at a parlor meeting, and then they came to us at our home and explained to us the purpose of the organization. And as Peter often says, they had us at hello.
Peter and Ellen are role models. They make Israel come alive, they make it become three-dimensional. Particularly when you watch them share a mission and how they engage people, how they connect them to Israel, to Jewish history, to the future of Israel and the future of the lives of these soldiers.
From the bottom of my heart, I thank you on behalf of all of the Americans, of the Friends of the IDF that are here, Jews, non-Jews, all united in love for Israel, to be with you in our unity together.
He's the most giving, sincere, dedicated person in every part of his life.
Whether it's welfare needs, spiritual needs, whether it's educational needs.
We have many impact students, and they have invited us into their homes, into their lives, and they have really made us feel how important what we do for FIDF is.
Dear Peter and Ellen,
we wanted to thank you for all of your help.
I studied because of you. Without you, I not reach what I reach now.
For everything you do for me and for my family.
It felt like you my second family.
Thank you and Impact as a whole for allowing me to accomplish so much more than I thought possible.
We salute you and love you. Good luck.
Peter enables people to see more above and beyond the surface, to feel above and beyond the surface, and to connect their hearts and their minds to our mission.
Peter's patience and ability to navigate respectfully to a large group of well-meaning, yet sometimes highly opinionated people is a special talent.
During the course of your tenure, you have injected joy, emotion, and a spirit that has transformed the core of FIDF.
You have taken the leadership during unprecedented times. You have kept us together, you have improved our infrastructure, and you have established a platform from which we can only grow and succeed and give back even more.
Thank you for giving without bounds and for devotion without end in enlisting friends and family for this mutual goal. Above all, thank you for a wonderful friendship.
Peter brings so much energy to the FIDF. He's the spice that makes our organization taste so good.
Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and I can speak on behalf of the soldier of the FIDF and say thank you to you and your family for all the things that you've done for us.
Peter, we would like to thank you for the love and support you give the Tavor Battalion. We wish you a happy new year. Shana Tova.
Peter, thank you, Toda Rabah, for your leadership, for your Pikud, command of the incredibly important organization.
Peter, who led the FIDF organization professionally and out of a sense of solidarity and love. I thank you, Peter, and appreciate you very much, and may I salute you.
How they've been able to transmit their values to their children and grandchildren. In today's world, that's not a simple thing.
He really makes a huge difference in so many people's lives in a way that really requires a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of devotion.
I see the love that he has for our family, and that's really, really important to me.
Our Zeta is humble,
charismatic,
gracious,
loving,
caring,
silly, strict,
generous,
supportive,
hardworking,
selfless,
inspiring. That's awesome! The best. Zeta's the best!
I'm so proud of you and everything that you've done for the IDF and for the state of Israel. I love you, Mazel Tov.
It's because of him and my grandmother that I have such a strong connection with my cousins and my siblings and my aunts and uncles.
You, my dear FIDF family, I promise you that we will never stop loving you. We will never stop caring for you. I walk prouder because of you. Ani maftiach lechem that I will always be here
for you, my heroes. Thank you very much.
Peter, my heart swells with incredible pride to hear such poignant and profound words shared by your peers, the young men and women whose lives you've touched and empowered, and of course our family, which thanks God every day that we are blessed with you as a patriarch and a role model of building community and unparalleled love for Israel. I'd now like to invite to the stage FIDF CEO Rabbi Steve Weil, FIDF National Director Major General Nadav Padan, and FIDF President and incoming Chairman Fred Gluckman.
Ellen, thank you. Peter, to the Weintraub family. First and foremost, in this world that we live in, transmitting Jewish values, Zionist values, is not an easy thing. And the two of you are role models. When we look at your children, when we look at your grandchildren, we all pray and dream that we will transmit the way you've transmitted to your family. Because charity starts at home, and you have an incredible family. Secondly, we all want to come back as children, and we want you as our camp counselor, Peter, to go on a mission with you. These young men and women, the young men and women that we call our soldiers, they could be our children, our grandchildren. They give their youth, they sacrifice their innocence, they put themselves in harm's way. And what do? You convey that to American Jews, you convey that to American Christians. When you take them to Israel, they become part of 4,000 years of Jewish history. Abraham and Sarah are not historical figments. They become three-dimensional, alive. You bring the Rambam to life, the story of Joseph to life, the Jews returning after 2,000 years of exile, whether it's Golda Meir, Menachem Begin. You bring all of that to life, and you connect us to our heritage, our Masorah, and you give us a sensitivity that we need to have, that these young men and women are putting themselves on the line for each and every one of us. Peter, not only are you a great philanthropist, but first and foremost, you're a teacher. You're a Rebbe, a mentor. And we as members of the staff, we as members of the National Board, and we, your community, we could have never chosen a greater leader, friend, mentor, and teacher than you. Ellen, what Rebbe Akiva said about his wife Rachel, Shali v'shalachem, shalah. Whatever Peter has accomplished in business, whatever he's accomplished as a father, a grandfather, a great-grandfather, as a leader of this organization, as a true friend of the soldiers, ultimately, and he will be the first one to say it, it is to your credit, to your Mesirat Nefesh, to you being his soulmate, his Ezer Kenegdo. God bless the two of you, your incredible family, for many decades to come, and God bless the soldiers of the State of Israel. We'd like to call upon our chairman, Fred Gluckman.
Not yet, not yet. There's still a vote to happen. There's still a vote to happen. I don't know how to thank you, Peter, for your mentorship, Ellen, for your warmth and your grace, your family for their warmth and their grace. It is truly inspirational to be part of such a community who has at their core a passion to provide for others. And you do so by example. And I can't thank you enough for what you do for us and for me personally as an inspiration and for your mentorship today and going forward. Thank you both.
For those of you who don't know Amit Shimoni's artwork, Amit is an Israeli artist. He's the creator and visionary behind Hip Story. It is creative, made to influence illustrations. Uh-oh, I heard I love it. Creative, made to influence illustrations of world leaders, historical figures, and social movers and shakers that reimagine the way history meets the present. We understand that Amit already had you on his list. So we called and we rushed the process along just a little bit. Peter, it has been a privilege to become your teammate, and I look forward to many more years of growing this organization together. Of course, I know, and we know, that you already have the most amazing teammate and life partner in Ellen. We are honored to present to both of you, our first couple, this original artwork.
Oh, that's so much fun.
Peter, come in.
Oh my God, that is great. That is terrific. Nothing could be more perfect. Sound your heart. Hang on every word you say. Hear us apart. Baby, I would
Together.
God, look at that.
That's really amazing.
Oh my God.
So I'm just going to read to you very quickly what the dedication says at the bottom, because I'm wearing glasses, but I don't know who's got on telescopes. So, dear Peter and Ellen Weintraub, with our deepest, most heartfelt gratitude, we honor you, FIDF's most exemplary power couple, and the extraordinary legacy you leave after Peter's decades of service to the FIDF. Your uncompromising vision, fierce dedication, and tireless toil vastly improved the quality of life for countless thousands of IDF soldiers, and its ripple effect will be felt for generations to come from our entire organization. And on behalf of those in Israel whom you have so generously served, we thank you for your humble heroism from the bottom of our hearts, your friends at the Friends of Israel Defense Forces.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Picture? Photo op? Yeah, take your glasses. Thank you very much. Thank you. I've been at many events honoring people, and invariably the honoree gets up and says something like this: I have no words to express the feelings I have, and then proceeds to talk for a half hour. So I have a few words, just a few, and a song. 4 words: thankful, proud, appreciative, blessed. Thankful for the honor you have bestowed upon me. You all know how much I love the soldiers and the mission of FIDF. I do it as a labor of love. But to be honored by you truly makes me thankful. And so thank you very much, all of you who are here tonight to honor me, and for the leadership that honors me. Proud. I am proud that I am leaving my chairmanship in the skillful and competent hands of new leadership. I am proud to have been instrumental in bringing Rabbi Stephen Weil and Major General Nadav Padan to the top level of FIDF executive leadership, and Fred Gluckman to succeed me as chair Fred, I've wanted you to succeed me for so many years. We've gone through some ups and downs, not between you and me, but between you and the forces that be, and I am so proud that I am leaving this group in your hands, passing to the new generation, to someone who is probably 2 decades younger than me in years. Appreciative of so many of you, but I need to call out 3 in particular. Appreciative to Phil Jacobs, who brought me to this organization 20 years ago. Appreciative to Steve Rubin and to David Hager, 2 people that have been by my side from the beginning of my tenure as president and then chair, and whose advice and counsel I have always sought. Very appreciative. And blessed. Ezer Kenegdo, Eishes Chayil. How does one describe somebody who you know for 50 plus years, who has seen me through everything that I have done, who has been my most constructive critic, my most honest evaluator, who has never let me rest when I wanted to say no to something, who has always believed in me. I am so blessed, Ellen, to have you by my side for all of the years to come. I love you without limit. And finally, I told my kids I would do this. Let's see if it works. My students here will appreciate it. Finally, a song. About 50 years ago, as a young rabbinical student, I was asked to give a blessing, an invocation at a dinner honoring Leon Gildesheim, who I didn't really know. And Leon Gildesheim got up and said, "Thank you. Now let's sing." Because the essence of what we do is honoring and acknowledging that we are all together as one community. So let's sing. So I end by asking us all to sing. Hine ma tovu manayim. Look how beautiful you sound. Hine ma tovu manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Thank you very much. And now the program goes on. So I go from honoree to host. Each one of us has our own individual story of courage and the courage of those who came before us and the courage of those on whose shoulders we stand. Courage is our legacy. Courage shapes the future, as you will now see.
Ever since I was a young child, I wanted to be like my father, to follow his footsteps and wear the Israeli Air Force uniform. I accomplished this goal with my father beside me, and now I'm serving as the commander of the Roma flight that's in charge of the tactical and the integrated communication structures to our forces in the field. Our responsibility is to ensure that all command and control systems are accessible to our soldiers from every possible point. air, sea, and land. That's an ongoing mission with challenges we must face daily. In my previous position during Operation Guardian of the Walls, while Israel was facing non-stop rockets fire from the Gaza Strip, my unit was sent immediately to the line of fire.
This is CNN Breaking News.
Air raid sirens have been going off for hours in the Israeli city of Ashkelon. Our correspondent Hannes Gold is one of the people there running.
We were tasked to oversee the communication of the Iron Dome system and guarantee it detects and neutralizes the enemy's rockets. There were times in which I had to make decisions that would affect so many lives. I felt my father right beside me. I will never forget that day. The Second Lebanon War began. I was just turning 13, and it was the summer break between the 7th to the 8th grade. And my father, airborne mechanic, was sent on duty. On one of the weekends, he came home for a very short break, and I remember he sat me down for a father-son talk, and he spoke with me about his expectation for me as the older son. You need to set an example to your younger brothers. Early next morning, his phone rang, calling him to base on Shabbat, even though he wasn't on duty. Before he went out to the base, I remember that I sat on the computer and I played with the computer games and I tried to keep my mind off the war. And right before he went out the door, I had a strong voice in my head who told me, go say goodbye to your father, it's the last time you're going to see him. And I just freezed on my chair and I didn't go to say goodbye.
סוג של צה"ל שנפגע בדרום לבנון, יש כאמור נפגעים.
מבדיקה ראשונית, וכאמור אלה רק פרטים ראשונים, היה זה טיל נ"ט, טיל נגד טנקים שפגע באותו מסוק.
I overheard people talking about a helicopter that was shot down in Lebanon. In my heart, I just knew it was my father. I actually called his phone non-stop. I went to my room and I called him when no one could see me, and I reached his voicemail.
שלום, הגעתי מנייד של סמי, שיר הודעה.
A few nerve-wracking hours later, there were knocks on our door. And then the city's officer came to announce us that my father and his team is fallen in Lebanon. I went to my mother and I told her that I'm going to do exactly what my father did, and I will defend my people. When I will have kids, I will tell them that their grandfather is a hero. He died while defending the country and our people.
Please welcome to the stage, Major Barr.
Thank you, everyone. So, shalom, everyone. My name is Bar. I'm 29 years old and I live in Rehovot. I just married Amy, my partners for the last 6 years. Thank you very much, Toda. I have been serving in the Israeli Air Force for almost 11 years. My connection to the Air Force and the IDF began the day I was born. I was actually born and raised at the Tel Nof Air Force Base, where my father served as an airborne mechanic on the CH-53 helicopter squadron. Me and my father were very close. And on Saturdays, when he was at home, we traveled all over Israel, watch movies, play soccer in the park together. But
As you just saw in the video, this all changed in an instant when his helicopter was shot down in Lebanon just 3 months before my bar mitzvah. In one moment, I had to adjust to the unimaginable reality of growing up without my father. When it was time for me to join the army at 18, I knew that I would also join the Air Force and wear the same uniform that my father wore. I was stationed at the Tel Nof Air Force Base, where I was born and from where my father left on his last mission, the mission from which he never returned. I flew several times on the CH-53 helicopter with my father's friend from the squadron, and it's impossible to put into words the feelings of pride, longing, and sadness that overwhelmed me all at once. I successfully completed my IDF officer's course and qualified as an operational IT officer in the Air Force. I performed many operational roles, and my dad's legacy and character accompanied me to every new unit I joined during my service. In the Air Force headquarters, I was known as Sami's son, of which I'm very proud. Serving in the IDF is a great privilege for me. Even beyond my personal story as an IDF orphan, I am also the great-grandson of Yosef Stern, Zichrono Livracha, my mother's grandfather, our only family member who survived Auschwitz. In November 2019, as I marched at the Auschwitz-Birkenau death camp as part of the FIDF Witness in Uniform program, I was immediately reminded that 8 years ago, there was no IDF or anyone to protect our people. Today, it's up to me and my peers. I am very proud of my military service, and it's a great privilege for me to protect the state of Israel. Thank you, FIDF family, for the care, support, and the love that you provide to me and my friends, especially during sleepless night, during an operation, with all the difficulty and homesickness. Knowing that you are with us gives us the strength to complete our mission. Thank you very much, and toda rabba.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we eat again, please welcome back the IDF ensemble that hopefully is going to get you up from your seats to dance and to sing. The IDF ensemble.
Good evening, everybody. Put your hands up in the air. תזיזו את כל הגוף לפי המנגינה ותחכו אותה באהבה. תשאירו את המילים כאילו אין מחר מקריית שמונה עד אילת. תמשיך המנגינה. Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. המקום הזה מלא עשן, באים מכל המדינה ישר לכאן. זה בוער לי בגוף, משהו טירוף עכשיו קורה פה בעיר. לא צריך לטוס למיימי, שאתם פה איתי אוי ממי. בון השוקולדים ימי, בשביל הנשמה. בא לי כל היום שמש בעיניים, שבאוטו יש לי נופל לשמיים. אבטיח גיטרה על המים. תזיזו את כל הגוף לפי המנגינה ותחכו אותה באהבה. תשאירו את המילים כאילו אין מחר מקריית שמונה ועד אילת. תמשיך המנגינה. מישהו פה נזכר קצת מאוחר, כן, וזה לא אני, זה לא בשבילי. משהו פה יצא קצת מכוער, וזה לא אני, זה לא בשבילי. פחות אחד, יותר נחמד
לחזור לבד הביתה.
זה לא מסובך, רק אל תשלח לי הודעות בלילה.
בוא תראה מה פספסת, בוא תראה, בוא תראה, בוא תראה מה פספסת, בוא תראה, בוא תראה. היא עושה לי את הבוקר, את הלילה, את היום. היא נוצאת אותי, הורסת, משחק איתה, תופסת, רץ אליה באדום. היא עושה לי את החופש, היא מותחת את הגבול. היא יפה, היא מסחררת, מפתה ומשחררת, ככה טוב לי להיות איתה זכור. מדמיין אותה נצמדת ועוטפת את קולי, אני רוצה אותה עליי, אני חייב אותה אצלי. היא ישבה יותר מדי שנים בתוך הראש סגור, כשפתחתי לה אותו היא הפכה ברבור. כל הלילה מסיבה וכולם משוגעים עליה ועליי, תרימו לה, תרימו לי. אז בואו נשבור את הכוס ונצא לחוב לרקוד, זה הכל. אז כולכם תעשו לנו כבוד. הלו הלו משטרה, יש פה שוד הלילה, גונב לה את הלב אז שמישהו יעצור אותי, ואם הסוף יהיה טוב אז בואו נצא לרחוב לרקוד, זה הכל, זה הכל. ניו יורק, מה ביקשתי?
Love is a very big deal,
מאוד גדול.
בטח שהערב מתחיל.
רגע, מה?
איך אני אוהב את הצליל שהלב שלי עושה ברגיל.
יא חביב,
say you love me like we do in תל אביב.
יא חביב, אלבי, 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 אלבי. יא חביב, אלבי, 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 אלבי. תל אביב, אלבי, 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 אלבי. יא חביב, אלבי, 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 אלבי.
Love is a very big deal, בטח שהערב מתחיל.
איך אני אוהב את הצליל
שהלב שלי עושה ברגיל.
אלבי, 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 אלבי. יא חביב, אלבי, 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 אלבי. תל אביב, אלבי, 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 אלבי. יא חביב, אלבי, 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 אלבי. Thank you very much.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
Everybody come here, we want to sing and dance with you. Thank you for everyone who comes here.
אמרת שאת אוהבת לחיות כמו בסרט עם כינורות ושושנים. אמרת שאת נותנת לי את הלב, שומרת ושחיכית לי כבר שנים.
הנשמה נמצאת בנשיקו שאני נותן רק לך, אין אחרת. אז ניו יורק, אני אוהב אותך, אוהב אותך עד השמיים, ומאוהב לך בעיניים, יש בתוכי, אני נמס ממך. תני לי אהבה בוערת, אין לי אף אחת אחרת, יש בתוכי, אני נמס ממך.
אהבה שורפת כשאת אותי עוטפת בשתי ידייך היפות. תמיד אני אהיה לך, תמיד אני אתן לך את כל הלב, אני מבטיח.
הנשמה נמצאת בנשיקו שאני נותן רק לך, אין אחרת. אני אוהב אותך.
אוהב אותך עד השמיים, מאוהב בך בעיניים, יש בתוכי. אני נמס ממך, אז תנו לי אהבה בוערת, אין לי אף אחת אחרת, יש בתוכי. ניו יורק, אני נמס ממך, היי, היי, היי.
אני רוצה לשיר לך כאן אל מול ירח, אני רוצה איתך לכתוב כוכב זורח. הנשמה נמצאת בנשיקות שאני נותן רק לך, אין אחרת. אני אוהב אותך, אוהב אותך עד השמיים, ומאוהב לך בעיניים, יש בתוכי. אני נמס ממך, תני לי אהבה בוערת, אין לי אף אחת אחרת, יש בתוכי. אני נמס ממך, אוהב אותך עד השמיים,
אוהב אותך,
ומאוהב בך בעיניים, יש בתוכי. אני נמס ממך,
תני לי אהבה בוערת, אין לי אף אחת אחרת, יש בתוכי. אני נמס ממך, יש בתוכי. אני נמס ממך, אני נמס ממך, אני נמס ממך. Thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you, New York.
We love you.
Can we grab you for a photo with the Prime Minister? Thank you.
We would be pleased to send a complimentary DVD of this program to anyone who wishes to support JBS with a tax-deductible gift of $36, double high or more. Simply visit the JBS website at jbstv.org and click on the donate button to make a donation by PayPal or your credit card. And please indicate the program for which you would like a DVD. Or you can send your tax-deductible check to JBS, Post Office Box 360, Stamford, Connecticut 06904. Or you can call the JBS Pledge Line at 833-MY-JBS-TV. That's 833-695-2788. And again, please remember to indicate which program you would like to receive with our compliments. We thank you for your kind support.